Hello my friends, I hope you're having a lovely day, and very quickly, in today's video I want to let you know that I'm going to use mostly Cuphead gameplay because that shouldn't get me in any trouble with YouTube. I would love to use clips from various TV shows that I'm going to talk about, but I think that'll get me blocked or taken down, so I'm going to avoid that issue altogether. I'll use some pictures and stuff. But anyway, today, I really have been looking forward to talking about the Cuphead Show with you guys. So just in case you don't know, very quickly, earlier in the week, the Cuphead Show was announced, which is an animated series that's going to appear on Netflix that is obviously based on the Cuphead video game. And I could not be more excited about it, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why, and I thought I'd share them with you. First off, I have such an appreciation for anyone who creates content out there. Movies, music, video games, animation, whatever it may be. I just love seeing people express themselves in ways like that and put themselves out there. But if I'm being completely honest, I have a special spot in my heart for animation. There's just something to me that is so magical about the idea of animation, taking drawings on a piece of paper or digital nowadays and turning them into motion and bringing them to life that tell a story. It's just, I don't know, there's just something to me that makes it seem like it shouldn't be possible. It's creating literally something from nothing. A blank page of paper becomes a magical creation. And it just puts such a smile on my face, and I'm so impressed by what I see. And that goes for any style of animation and any topic that they're covering. A serious animation, a silly animation, anime or Disney style animation, whatever it may be. I just love and appreciate it all so deeply, even if I'm not like super invested in the story that's being told or something like that. I can still watch the visuals and really appreciate those things. And obviously Cuphead is very tied to that because Cuphead's look completely owes what it does to the cartoons of the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and so on. It's very much focused on that generation, that style. I would guess probably more 30s and 40s style, but that style just screams through in the game, and to see the game be influenced by cartoons of those eras, and then now the game is getting its own cartoon, man, that's just so fantastic to me. I'm so eager to see what they do with it. I'm sure it's not going to be exactly the same animation style that we see in Cuphead as far as the game goes, but you know, they'll mix in some styles there. But it's just the idea that it's getting an animated feature in and of itself is too perfect. It makes me so excited to see what they're going to do with it. We really don't know how closely Cuphead the show is going to follow what goes on in the game, or what it's going to do as far as the music or visuals. You know, like I said, I'm sure they will be at least somewhat related. But what we do know is some of the people involved with the project, and these are the people that get me really excited for the potential of this show, because we're talking about people that have worked on some amazing stuff. People who have been in the industry for a very long time, and they certainly know their way around cartoons. Netflix is very obviously putting together a team that they know has experience in animation, and not just that, but experience with shows that were extremely popular or are still on now and are extremely popular. So I'm going to break down 3 of the people on the team that we know, and I'm going to start with the one that I think is least impressive, but still super impressive. I don't mean it as a negative thing. I just want to, you know, start from the lower tier and work my way up, and the combination of these people, oh my god, I'm just so excited to see what they do with this show. First up is Cosmo Eckerson, who's been working in animation since 2003, and he's worked on a couple really notable things. First is Chowder, and he was involved a very little bit in Chowder, but he did do the story for an episode. But Chowder in general was a really great show. I feel like people never really got the chance to check out what Chowder was or even knew what was going on with it, because at the time it got flopped around on the Cartoon Network schedule so much it didn't seem like it had a real steady block, and if it did, it was only for a little bit of time, so people just didn't catch it really, and the show floundered and eventually disappeared. So the show is full of heart, and it has some really funny stuff in it, and it's just extremely endearing. Check that out if you haven't. But more importantly, Cosmo was involved with Camp Lazlo, which was a fantastic show on Cartoon Network. It ran for 5 seasons, and it was just weird and wacky and gross and funny, and it was like everything I could ask for from a cartoon. And Cosmo wrote 19 of the episodes for that show from 2005 to 2008. The show is multi-Emmy award winning. It was a big deal. And for those who don't know, Camp Lazlo was created by Joe Murray, who is the man who created, among other things, Rocko's Modern Life. And that actually takes us to what Cosmo's doing now in 2019. While he's involved with the Cuphead Show, Cosmo also wrote the screenplay for Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling, which is the brand new made-for-TV movie of Rocko's Modern Life. That's going to appear on Netflix this summer. They haven't set an official date yet other than this summer, but it's a return for Rocko's Modern Life. It's a one-off as far as we know. I would imagine if things go really well with this TV movie, they'll do more, but it's a return for fans of Rocko's Modern Life, and hopefully it'll woo in some new people too. And if Joe Murray is willing to run with the screenplay written by Cosmo, then you would imagine the guy knows what he's doing. So I'm excited for Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling, and hopefully that's fantastic. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Everything I've seen so far makes it look like it's going to be really good. And that'll just make me more excited about what he's going to do with the Cuphead Show. Then we have CJ Cutler, who has her fingerprints all over the world of animation, especially when it comes to things that were from my childhood, but she's still doing things today, obviously. She's working on the Cuphead Show. But yeah, from my generation, she worked on some major shows that were like huge hits. She worked on My Little Pony and Friends, which was the original run, like the 1986 run. She also did the Bucky O'Hare cartoon, which I don't know if many people saw, but I watched it religiously. There was one season, that was it. She also did My Little Pony Tales, which was the show that returned later in the 90s. Most importantly to me, she executive produced The Tick. I didn't know The Tick was a cartoon or a comic book character or anything back then. I just thought The Tick was a cartoon show. So that was my introduction to the character. Oh my god, I can't describe how much I loved The Tick. What a weird, awesome character. That show's humor was so good. I loved it. It seriously made me laugh all the time. It's just weird. It's just a weird show. Tick's a weird character. And that I have vivid memories of that cartoon to this day. That's one of the very few cartoons that my parents would actually sit down and watch with me all the way through because they thought it was funny as well. They legitimately liked the show. The Tick was so awesome. I know there's Tick live action stuff now, and I've seen some of it, and it is good, but man, nothing will be as good to me as that cartoon was. I watched a few episodes recently, and it still holds up. I still like it just as much. I think I might even appreciate it more. But that's just some of the things that CJ Cutler has been involved with. Most recently, she's worked on the Carmen Sandiego new animated feature. But yes, she's coming to the Cuphead Show, and she's going to executive produce there as well. So she's executive produced a whole bunch of shows that are really notable, that have had a ton of fans, that are still going in some form or another today. So she knows what she's doing, and there's no reason to not be excited about the work she's going to do on the Cuphead Show. Then there's the one that really sealed the deal for me. I was excited with the other two, but this one is so big to me. Dave Wasson is working on the Cuphead Show, and if you don't know who he is, you have to find out about him. He's worked on a whole... Well, first off, he was an animator on Space Jam. So, I mean, there you go. That's it right there. You should be excited. Yeah, he worked on the original Space Jam as an animator. I don't know if he's happy about it or not, but, you know, I would imagine working on a animated feature film with Warner Brothers characters is like a wow moment in your career, regardless of the good or bad quality of the movie itself. But that's a discussion for another day. He also worked on Cool World as an animator. Cool World as a movie, I would say, is not good. Cool World's animation I really love. Such a gritty and unique feel to it. Very smoothly animated too. I love that. He worked on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs as an animator as well. But the thing that has me really excited for his involvement is he's the guy that directed and wrote and supervised many of the more recent Mickey Mouse animated shorts. If you haven't seen the like new run, it's new. Like they're still going on now, but they started a couple years ago. Animated shorts for Mickey Mouse that were on YouTube, and I believe they air them in compilations on the Disney Channel now. Oh, I honestly think it is the best thing that Disney's doing right now in terms of animation. I put it so far above everything else that they're doing. It has a really unique look that is both modern and pays tribute to classic Mickey. It's also modern in how it tells stories, plus it harkens back to how cartoons used to be, where there's a lot of just like sight gags and pratfalls and physical comedy and stuff like that mixed in with, you know, little bits of dialogue here and there. Some episodes have more talking than others, but it's just so classic cartoon, but done up for today's era. It even mixes in a little bit of like Ren and Stimpy style of humor. There'll be like gross close-ups and gags like that. Just, oh, it's a combination of like all the things I love about silly animation. And I was so nervous about it when I first heard that that project was going on, because I was like, I don't know, I feel like Disney hasn't done anything animated, like regular animated Mickey Mouse in so long. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything like endearing, because the classic animated shorts with Mickey and Goofy and Donald and all them, they're timeless. They're really funny. They're great stuff. And I feel like this animated Mickey Mouse stuff now really captures all that and builds upon it. I can't recommend it enough. Just go on YouTube and find it. Like, it's on Disney's official channel. There's a whole bunch of episodes. I don't think I've seen them all, but everyone I've seen is amazing. So his involvement in the Cuphead show is, that's all I need, really. Like, he's going to have, you can tell, I think, right from the artwork of the Cuphead show, that he's going to have some kind of really important input on it, because it feels like what's going on with the Mickey Mouse cartoons. Now, that could be just me, you know, drawing a connection between the two where there isn't, but we know that Dave Wasson is working on the Cuphead show. So with these three, Dave Wasson, CJ Cutler, and Cosmo Eckerson, sorry. I feel so positive about where this show is going to go. In another life, in another time, I would be running a blog and doing videos about cartoons, but that is not this life. I write about Nintendo. I have lots of passions in life. Nintendo's obviously one of them, but now you know that animation in general is another. I just can't get enough of it, really. I really respect and enjoy it. I'm sure you heard that passion in this video. Hopefully it wasn't too annoying, because I know I nerded out with some of the stuff on here and the people involved, but I just want to spread a little bit on why I'm excited for this, and hopefully some of that excitement was endearing and gets you more excited for, at the very least, the potential for the Cuphead show. I don't know if it's going to be good. With these people involved doesn't mean it's definitely going to be good, but I think it's got a really good shot at being some way decent. So we'll find out whenever the show comes out. We just got to sit back and wait until that happens. So that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's always appreciated. A huge thank you to our patrons on Patreon. I really appreciate the support. What you're doing helps me do what I'm doing, so thank you very much for that. And that's it for today. So until the next video, have a lovely day, have a lovely evening, and I'll see you in a few short hours.